Hello, Mr. Yang. I am Vector Hasting, and I'm recording you a quick message to give you some information about one of your signature policies, which is what I call the share, what you are calling the freedom dividend. It's universal base income. I'm hoping before the debate that you will change your presentation a bit to instead of calling for a VAT tax to pay for it, to call for reform of income tax to pay for it. Namely, use a flat tax to pay for it. And let me give you a visual of why that's important. This here is section 26, or Title 26 of the U.S. Code. This part and this part together. All right, about 4,000 pages worth. It's in 10 chapters. There's 9 chapters here. We're going to call that the core, the common core of our tax operating base. This is the income tax. This is chapter A. What you are proposing is to leave all this in place, and in order to fund the share, the freedom dividend, you want to add this. This is the VAT tax in Europe. So you would increase Title 26, internal revenue of the United States, to include something like this, rather than just take and add something like this. This is a flat tax proposal from Stanford economists going back to the 80s. I have taken it and added 2 tiny subchapters to this that get you universal base income at the exact same amount you are looking for. So instead of all of that, get rid of all of that, and the new operating system for the US budget becomes this much smaller stack. This stuff, most people don't know what it's about. It's like excise taxes and things between tribal states, and there's some inheritance tax in here. But this says take the income tax and make it a flat tax. So the flat tax has been, so the overall taxes that have been collected since World War II are 19.5%, and it hasn't changed no matter how much of this stuff has been happening. What this has been doing is redistributing whose income is treated more importantly, i.e. whose income gets a lower tax rate. But in aggregate, all of our taxes have been 19.5%. The original Hall-Rabushka plan just did that, just took the 19% and stuck it in here. What I do here is I say you take that 19% and then you figure out what the percentage is that you need to add for the share. But here's the thing. What you're then doing is you can explain it to people. You are getting $500 twice a month because that's a percentage of GDP. So that's 0.1 micro% of GDP versus an extra 20% off your income tax. Now the problem is, of course, people don't know what GDP is, but it's huge, right? It's $20 trillion. So 0.1 micro% of that is $20,000. So now you make that number concrete to people and you explain this is a pay forward system, so you don't have to worry about 10 years from now. Whatever the economy is 10 years from now, everyone will get this percentage. And the tax rate will be a percentage that makes that work. And as this grows, our share will grow, and our income will grow, and it will grow to pay for it. So I'm obviously very passionate about this. I'm actually running for president on this because I didn't know anyone like yourself would actually make it to the Democratic debate. You may want to consider having me as a spokesperson, but please don't do this, because this plus this only makes faith in government and the fairness of government erode even worse. Because every one of these lines is some way that regular Americans do not get the same fair shake as someone who's got a reason, a job creator reason, for example, to be in this stack over here. Thank you for watching, and may the spirit of light within us all save America.